College is the first time that some people experience diversity. Their experiences prior to college have shaped their views of people who are different from them. One of the communities many people are prejudiced against when coming to college is the LGBT community. This could create a hostile and uncomfortable environment for LGBT students. A lot of what happens to college students happens outside of the classrooms. As an orientation assistant this summer, I remember having to dedicate all of debriefing after skits to a discussion about sexuality. The group I was working with was all young men, and all of them were convinced that having a gay roommate was the worst thing that could happen to them. One young man even said, "I would have to sleep on my back every night if I had a gay roommate." Many of the others agreed. I went back and forth with them for over an hour about why they felt that way, and so on. In the end, I didn't feel as though I made much progress. One of the boys had a gay roommate for that night, and the roommate had confided in his orientation assistant that he was actually scared for his safety. Thankfully, nothing happened, but that young man's first impression of his college is that of a place where he felt unsafe and uncomfortable. As a resident assistant, I'm responsible for the welfare and the community within the hall. In my hall, I want the residents to feel safe and connected to the building. However, on my floor this semester, there have been at least 2 bias-related incidents dealing with heterosexist language. It's only 1 month into the semester, and many of the students come from different places, but this is college. Aren't colleges supposed to be open to everyone and encourage diversity and acceptance? At least that's what you're always told. In response to hearing the heterosexist language and dealing with the bias-related graffiti, I made a bulletin board in celebration of LGBT History Month. I wanted to raise awareness about the LGBT community and what it means to be an ally. I made rainbow triangles that said ally for the residents to place on their doors. Many of the residents proudly displayed their triangles on the floor. It was great to see the majority of residents were opposed to the heterosexism and willing to make a statement. Since then, there have been no more incidents. At least as far as I can tell, the community has improved a lot, and my residence hall has become safer for one group of people.
When I started Cortland freshman year, I was told at orientation that the classes on campus were small, intimate, and a place where students received a lot of one-on-one attention. Since then, however, things have changed drastically. Now, instead of small classes, every class is overloaded. At orientation for last year's freshman, President Bitterbaum announced that because of the lack of teachers, the next classes attending Cortland will not be able to finish in 4 years, and that it will take longer. For all the students in this place who were told that they would get the individualized attention they deserved in class, it's become difficult to pay attention. Lecture halls that were once half empty are now packed, leaving more students to ask more questions, but end up receiving little help from the teacher because they're simply overloaded with work. Teachers are not only unavailable during class, they're often not available for office hours. Teachers are being let go or retiring and are not being replaced, but instead others are expected to take on a larger workload. Throughout my 4 years, there were times I needed a little assistance in some of my more difficult classes. However, more often than not, I would find teachers not there during hours, teachers with only a few hours, and those who would always seem to be sick or out of town. I've struggled and worked hard throughout my 4 years, but have found that the recent budget cuts and faculty cuts have been detrimental.
Going into my freshman year at the University of Arizona, I never thought I would be challenged with academics. I was in a theater class to fulfill my requirements with my cousin, and I honestly enjoyed the curriculum. One day I got to class and I was handed a note stating I was charged for plagiarism. I had to make an appointment with my teacher to follow the academic integrity procedure, which is here. I had to state my case while she wrote it down to use towards her final decision. 3 weeks later, I got an official letter stating I was charged for giving my cousin my paper, which is plagiarism, which she copied. I lost my scholarship. I got kicked out of the class, got an F on my transcript, and it was placed on my academic transcript for a full year. I appealed her decision, but I got denied and had to retake the class to replace my grade. Fortunately, I got an A to replace the F, and I was able to transfer to SUNY Cortland with academic integrity on my transcript. I look back and realize I was academically repressed. I am happy it occurred because it made me realize how political universities are, and I am happy to share my experience to prevent people from going through the same hardship I encountered.
Since my freshman year here at SUNY Cortland, I have been paying for my education out of pocket. Since I was not fortunate enough to be born into a financially well-off family, I have had to work 2 jobs in order to pay my tuition. Although athletes are able to legally miss class when they have practices or games, for students like myself, I cannot miss class due to work or work-related conflicts. Why is it okay for athletes to miss class, but not okay for hardworking students with jobs to miss class? Students attend universities with the desire to grow as individuals, but universities have one goal, and the goal is to make money. With the universities mass producing individuals, the 4-year degree is becoming necessary to obtain jobs working at Burger King and other fast food restaurants. Why has the 4-year degree become almost meaningless in the business world? Deciding to which university to attend is the last choice you get to make once you arrive at college. You become a puppet to the university and begin to follow their outline and itinerary to graduation.